back at
I
it.
always have a backup
I
plan.
have no idea where I'm going. Still got that back. That's better. Alright. 3 tries the other day and I still got it wrong. They still only an export area on the map. I wish they had, you know, quest objectives, but catch up from behind. I'm a long-lost brother. Thank Providence you're alive and well. Always on time, eh, Conrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You can set your chrono by it. Conrad pointedly looks away from the Arch Militant to you. Mort, pull yourself together. Arch Militant looks back at you. What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away. Mort pulls his box from the belt and hurriedly reports to the situation. On the situation. Master whispers, what is happening on my ship? The boxnet is silent. The box master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck and my Arch Militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Has some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report! I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. Volunteer pauses. That the men have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny. Mutiny? But who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp? Lunatics, fools, heretics. This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and the warp-induced illusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we had to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure, and I have the means to do both things at once. Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A Psyker board ship is potentially being assailed by the warp. Could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons. I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18. Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthard immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch Militant with me, I must go to my study, and it appears that we may encounter heretics along the way. Selena Voidstar. Selena Voidstar, Theodore glances at you thoughtfully. My cats are going nuts today. I don't know what it is. If I may, Lord Captain, Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthard back, I can use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the house as the esteemed Arch Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthard's psychic powers. Alright. We gotta find the Arch Militant, which we did. Discover the whereabouts of Edelthard and the heir. Then it's settled. Selena Voidstar, find Edelthard and bring him here, in whatever state you find him. This elevator, she points at the massive doors, leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require both of you. Do you understand? In whatever state, what does that mean? Conrad coughs. We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Gellerfield and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the deck. Psychers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways. Enough. Master whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthard back to me. I hear and obey, Lord Captain. Theodore waves a hand impatiently. Then move out. Mort, come on. Are you ready to go head to 18? It's a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. I shall lead the way. I shall make you lead the way. Of course you will. He rummages in his pocket or something. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs, but that is no longer relevant. With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you are consumed by unbearable gut-wrenching pain. What? Is he a bad guy? I promise you a special destiny, Selena Voice. It's time for you to fulfill it. Wow, he's the bad guy. I thought it would have been Edelvard.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. She has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warren Chamber, and for that, I need her breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Wait for you two-faced scum. You are the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me, but you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of grok shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
Blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gates. Go to the gates. Go to the gate. Bite the voice in your head. Get out! I am not your puppet! The voice in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel this intruding influence forcing you into your feet, making you take a step forward toward the gates in the center of the chamber. In the gateway arc, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Same device? You carefully inspect the design of the cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as a material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. The servitor on the gate begins to move. With screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with the sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen on the right of you lights up, showing a strange and mysterious symbol on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding the sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Voltveer wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. I'm gonna look for anything that can be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that can work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
Okay. The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat. Immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps turn to motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes passed. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate you could catch your breath. Maybe even close your eyes to pretend none of this has ever...
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You don't understand where the quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your wary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do you any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Wow!
Well, there is still another way.
Can I loot somebody, please? The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable. I love the purity seals. That's so cool looking. Wow, that is... I did not expect that to be the rich of trade. That's crazy. Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of the track. Too fast. Really person.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who addresses me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel standing by.
Need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
The server skull goes silent. It's realized clicking. Second after second passes, and you realize that the server skull will not answer. Are you the Warren Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
In place of the mechanical screeching, the service scroll's box projects the voice of Theodore von Valancius, distorted and ridden with static, yet still recognizable beyond a doubt. Boxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator's Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head.
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
Lead me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
What are we doing?
Mistress? What? Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me. What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigtver is a traitor. When we parted ways on the upper deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodore for something, and trying to reach the warden was somehow part of that plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor. I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Mistress, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Voigtver has openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saint's blood! And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Mistress. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster.
Trust him either.
You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Maybe not. Lasgun, flak chest plate, medikit.
Let's patch you up.
I won't forget this. Miscalculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse. All those strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's Sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
What exactly has gone wrong with the translation?
I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me, navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck down by warp corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
Then how did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Imperium. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterial. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
Abelard does not bat an eye as he lists all the horrors that you are about to face. I heard one of Theodora's Vox casts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
The Navigator's Sanctum, huh? Very well. Will you lead the way?
Absolutely. Let us proceed.
To arms, oh, a wave of static suddenly erupts from the servo skull, and you can make out Theodora's words through the noise. To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor. Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might destroys those who have dared.
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved.
You will die to the dark hours.
Run, fools, or fall!
Are you ready to die?
Didn't flinch. I'll make it happen. My gut tells me it's a bad idea. On it. You never stood a chance. It's as good as done. Your end was inevitable.
At your beck and call. One fewer target. I will do my duty.
A mere pain won't stop me. I'll see to it, personally. You never stood a chance.
Oh, so we can level up now. Oh, and now I can start getting loot. Thank you, Lord. Praise be to the God Emperor. That's all pointing in that area.
I will lead us to fortune.
I want that pistol. Oh, it's all in all mine. Okay. We share an inventory. I've already done that. What if I do? Awesome.
Let us not dawdle.
Save. Just because I need to.
Keep your
Better
wits
safe
about
than
you.
sorry.
The Navigator's Sanctum is directly along the passageway. I pray to the God Emperor that we are not too late.
That purple stuff makes me nervous.
And so she will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Mistress, watch your head. Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Phalaensis.
Adira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are Fon Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
You hear a few clicks from the relays on the server scroll, which has followed you all the way here, and Theodora's scrambled words give way to a voice vaguely familiar to you. Officers frequency to all who can hear me. Those with weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
It was Edelthrat that I thought was the bad guy, not Abelard. I got confused. Too many rods and ards.
Blast it! You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
How do you know who I am?
What? You think Lady Theodora didn't ask me to peek into the darkness behind the backs of those she sees as her prospective heirs? I have seen you. I have seen the footsteps of your past and the wounds of your heart.
You flinch at the seer's words. No doubt you're referring to the nightmares, the tortures inflicted upon your body and mind. Your muscles contract involuntarily as if steeling themselves once more for the inevitable pain. What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the enginarium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
We must see if the navigator is well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
A piece of pipe left a noticeable dent in the door, in the floor. Where am I going? I have no idea. Let's do this. Oh.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust. Your demise is already calculated.
Let's see. I will put you here. Me. Put her here. Let's see.
Will do.
Not on the desk. Good lord.
But of course. What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Oops, I hurt my own guy. I didn't realize that. Something to learn.
Will do.
Alright. Okay. So let's do prepare plan.
I'll make it happen. On it. I'll make it happen. Your end was in mistake.
Alright, so that's done.
I faced worse than this.
A tactically sound approach. Victory is imminent. Reduced to dust.
Well,
Temporary setback.
Was that you?
the creature in the chair appears as if it has become one with its throne. You see pink parchment-like skin stretched between the seat and limbs that have too many joints for a normal human being. The navigator is breathing heavily, the air whistling as it exits through the two dark, gill-like slits in his cheeks. The creature's eyes are shut, two ordinary eyes as well as the third one that sits at the center of its forehead. I believe Master Vespada still lives. The servants are dead, but the chamber, thank the Emperor, is still sealed from the warp. Well, we have a chance of leaving this place alive. What is wrong with him? Wounded, exhausted, fighting back the endless horrors of the warp that are forcing their way into his head, pick one. The navigator stirs, barely able to lift his head and half open his normal eyes. A dark drop rolls from under the closed lid of the third eye and down his face, leaving behind a black trail. Your time is short. The voice is coming from the box scroll at the base of the bazaar chair. It is unclear how the navigator is able to produce human speech. Your time is short to do what? Suddenly, the navigator's body starts thrashing in place. It lurches forward, then falls back onto the seat, then thrusts forward again as bones crack and skin tears open. However, the fusion between the body and the chair appears to be stronger than these wild impetuses. The mutant remains seated but leans as far forward as he can, his layered raiment slowly turning crimson. The gill slits burst open, forming two hideous, screaming, mouth-like pits. Fall to your knees, mortals, and behold the final dawn. It came from beyond. His body is not his. Your scream is echoed by the sounds cries in your head. The unseen creature triumphs at the sight of the navigator, succumbing to the paroxysms of corruption. It marched, thunders up under the burden of hopes. Unseal your hearts, and I will flood your souls with myriads of words and meanings, each one a portent of salvation within me. The navigator continues to convulse violently in his seat, shrieking and cackling. Then his fits stop abruptly. His face is drenched in black and crimson. The dark ooze from under his third eyelid has turned from a trickle into a stream mixed with blood coming out of his nose. And there's a purplish swelling around the eye. Run! Breathe from this place while I still have the strength. I can contain the intrusion, but not for long. We must begin the translation. Leave the warp, but it can't be done without the Master Helmsman's help. I want to help you. Tell me how. Run. The sanctum will be sealed. I will hold on and wait for the signal from the Master Helmsman. Then I will commence the translation, so run. Run! The navigator is still alive, but barely so. What do we do now? The ship can only begin the translation with the assistance of the Master Helmsman, if he is still alive. It is worth a try. We must get to the bridge, but we will need support. Our only option is to fight our way to the opposite deck and join forces with Edelthard and his people. I believe we will also find Lady Theodora there. She must have heard the cars to the arms that the Servo Skull relayed to us earlier. Vespiadis, good luck, and thank you. The navigator does not give a response. Black tears mixed with blood are streaming from under closed eyelids, and the box at the base of the chair is bellowing out static interspersed with distant echoes of otherworldly laughter. Navigator appears dead. Only the slight movement of his chest and twitching of his eyelids let you know that he is still clinging to life. Alright, we'll do some loots.
I always keep my options open. Always keep your eye on the prize.
Alright, that's where we're going to stop for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, you know what to do. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means a lot, helps the channel grow, and I really do appreciate it. Until next time, love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.